The Knicks postgame show is presented by Tri-State Audi. Visit your Tri-State area Audi dealer today. Jalen Brunson for the Knicks. Another 30-point night. He had 37. Knicks down by 12. Were able to tie it late. Cade Cunningham, excellent game 2. Had 33 points. All knotted up at 94. 55 seconds ago, Dennis Schroeder for the key 3. He had 20 off the bench. And the Pistons tie up the series at 1 game apiece, beating the Knicks tonight 100-94. Bill Pito here along with Wally Zerbiak. We're here for the next hour to break it down. Knicks with a season low, Wally, 94 points. You take away the 5-minute, 27-second stretch in game 1 where the Knicks outscored the Pistons 21-0. You take that out of the equation, and Detroit has outplayed New York.
They have. This team's come to play. This team's physical. They're tough. They're bigger almost at every position. And the Knicks got to make some serious adjustments going into Detroit. Not going to be easy to win a game there. Having said that, they had an opportunity in that fourth quarter. They know they can execute down the stretch. They had a couple wide open looks at 3 that they couldn't knock down and couldn't take advantage of. But at the same time, this Detroit team put a lot of pressure on the Knicks by playing a really good basketball game again. I didn't think they were going to be this solid to bounce back after the loss the way they lost in game 1. This team's something that the Knicks have to be worried about.
Detroit led from about halfway into the first quarter for the rest of the game.
Yep.
Knicks never led. They were able to tie it late. Brunson had 14 in the fourth quarter, but Towns did not score a single point in the second half. Didn't get a shot in the fourth quarter. Mikal Bridges didn't score in the fourth quarter. It was Brunson and nothing else for the Knicks as they try to come back.
Yeah, and Jalen was unbelievable. You know, he was keeping his team in it. And you have to adjust as a player when you're playing with a guy that's so dominant scoring like Jalen Brunson. You just have to be ready when you get your opportunities. Obviously, Towns is used to being more into the game. Here's a little spat between Hart and Schroeder. Schroeder is a nag, believe me. That guy is going to get under your skin. He's going to do all the little tricks. He's a veteran and he's smart. Jalen Brunson, though, outstanding in that fourth quarter. Noah Thompson, he fouled him out. This was a big play there. Tie game, Jalen Durant gets that dunk. And then Josh Hart gets it back on the other end.
Tied it up.
Ties it up, was looking for the foul, didn't get it. That's just a bad miscommunication. Josh Hart and Jalen Brunson have to switch to not allow that good of a look. And then down the other end, down 3. That's an outstanding open shot. Bridges misses, Schroeder makes. That's the difference in this game. That's the pressure that the Pistons put on the Knicks. And now we're going back to Detroit City, tied at 1. Looks like this is going to be a long season, a long series, sorry.
Well, and neither team shot well from downtown. Look at the difference from the free throw line. In the first half, the Knicks only went 2 of 2 from the line, while Detroit went 13 out of 14 for the game. Knicks outscored by 12 points from the line in a game that was physical on both ends of the court. And how about the rebounding there? Detroit outboards the Knicks by 14, and Isaiah Stewart, their backup big guy, didn't play because of a sore knee. What do you make it? Also bench points, by the way, 35 for the Pistons and only 8 for the Knicks.
Well, first of all, the Pistons are better without an injured Isaiah Stewart in the lineup. Paul Reed was active. He's mobile. He can move. Isaiah Stewart was not moving well in game 1, so they replaced him with a viable, healthy guy that gave him some quality minutes when he was out there on the floor. I'll tell you, this team relies a lot on their bench. Beasley and Schroeder are 2 guys that Coach J.B. Bickerstaff trusts. They're veterans. They've been in big moments. They've been in playoff games. They've been in big games. And he leaves them out there in the fourth quarter. He's got a lot of options to put around Cade Cunningham. And the Knicks changed their coverage a little bit on Cade Cunningham, didn't double him as much, didn't leave the open shooters open as often. So Cade saw that, and he attacked the whole entire game, and he dominated with a big-time performance.
Cunningham in game 1 had 21. We've mentioned he went for 33 tonight. Is that because of the difference in how the Knicks were playing him?
Yeah, they were blitzing him hard in game 1. They were trying to get the ball out of his hands, make other people beat him. As a result, Detroit made 15 threes. In this one, they allowed Anunoby to guard him a lot more one-on-one. And I'll tell you, he can score on Anunoby. If you stick to one-on-one, he's that good.
But why did the Knicks change it up when it was so effective in game 1?
They were down 8 going into the fourth quarter. So they had to kind of make a few adjustments, and as a result, Cade Cunningham saw that. He stayed aggressive. At some point, you're going to have to trust Bridges and OG Anunoby to guard this guy one-on-one during this series, because if they can't stop him one-on-one, they have too many shooters if you're doubling, and it becomes too predictable of a defense when you just throw two guys at Cunningham to get the ball out of his hands. You're going to be playing on a power play on the other side of the floor, and this team has other guys that can really hurt the Knicks, especially from the three-point line.
You know, we were talking about it in the pregame. We were talking about it off the air. What would happen with Detroit in this game after what happened in that stretch in the fourth quarter in Game 1? You got to give them credit. I mean, I think there was a lot of thought that maybe they were going to be broken coming into this game, given what happened in Game 1. That is absolutely not close to what happened.
Shows a lot about that locker room, the resolve in this young team. This team believes they can beat this Knicks team. I agree with you, but this was also, you got to remember, this was Detroit's season. Their backs were completely against the wall. They go down 2-0. You gave that statistic that it's pretty bleak that you're going to get back into the series and let alone win it. So they needed this game big time. They came out with a sense of urgency. Having said that, there are a lot of changes and adjustments that I think Tom Thibodeau has to make going into Game 3, because this team, they play a certain style that is really taking the Knicks out of what they want to do. Only 15 assists by the Knicks. There's a lot of dribbling. There's a lot of holding the ball. There's not a lot of ball movement.
Is it the athleticism of the Pistons on defense?
It's the athleticism, the strength, and the size. When you look, like Asur Thompson, he's much bigger than Jalen Brunson. They're big at every position. And Jalen Durant is really solid at manning the middle, and he's physical. And, you know, Karl Anthony Towns, he's great when he can take those immobile bigs on the three-point line and knock down threes over them, put the ball on the floor. But Jalen Durant is a mobile big man who's comfortable going out to that three-point line. And I think that's one of the reasons why we're not seeing Karl Anthony Towns get a lot of good looks from that three-point line.
Let's bring in Monica McNutt, help call the game on the radio on ESPN New York. And Monica, we've talked about it, worth repeating. Towns did not take a single shot in the fourth quarter, did not score a single point in the second half.
Okay, wait. I just got my IFB in. Wally, what did you say? Why did that happen? Because I need somebody to help me figure it out, because I'm lost.
That's Durant's physicality, right, Wally?
Yeah. Oh, why Towns didn't get any shots. Yeah, I think Durant, he can move his feet, and he can go out to that three-point line. He's comfortable defending out there. Towns is used to going up against these plotters at 7 feet that don't like going out to that three-point line and contesting, but Durant's as mobile of a big as I think there is in the league, and he's comfortable chasing them off the screens.
All right, Monica, you there? Can you hear us? Okay, we'll get back to Monica in a couple of seconds. But it's interesting because there is no ability of Towns having the advantage from downtown because of Durant's mobility.
Yeah.
So the point is Durant can come out to the line and guard Towns straight up.
And sometimes Tobias Harris is on him, and Tobias is used to going out to the three-point line and guarding guys out there, so he has no problem doing that. Where Towns can hurt Tobias is in the paint. I'm dying to see more of Towns and Mitchell Robinson on the floor together. We saw it at times, and it spurts to start the fourth quarter, but I think that's a good lineup because this team is physical. This team is quicker to some of the loose balls and loose rebounds. And when you have Towns out there at the 5 spot, he's got so much physical stuff to do to protect the paint. Whereas if you allow Mitchell Robinson to do that, you can allow Towns to roam a little bit more and not have to deal with a lot of that dirty work that has to be done down low.
And you look at Bridges in that fourth quarter, he had 4 open looks. He went 0 for 4, had 19 points through 3 quarters, had 4 open looks, including that shot to potentially tie the game, and unfortunately couldn't make it.
They're good looks. You got to take those shots. You got to have confidence. There was one in transition. He pulled up, took a wide open 3. Just got to make it. You know, that's the bottom line. You got to get yourself in a rhythm. You got to trust that that's a good shot. And you have to adjust a little bit because he's used to, with the Nets, being the man, having the ball in his hands a lot. Now the ball is obviously going to be in the hands of Mr. Clutch, Jalen Brunson. So when his opportunities do come, they're going to come few and far between. He's got to be ready to knock down those shots.